Step into the ring.
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish hearts in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays. Faint lights pass through colored glass in this beloved place. Silver shines, the world dines, a smile on each face. As joy surrounds, convert the bounds, and I can feel them breaking free. For just this moment lost in time, I am finally me. Yet still I hide behind this mask that I have become. My blackened heart, scorched by flames of force I can't run from. I look to you like a red rose, seeking the sun, no matter where it goes. I long to stay where the light dwells, to guard against the cold that I know so well. As the rain falls on the path, I chase your shadow. I don't feel a single drop or the ground below. Then you turn to me and I stop before I know. And the lie upon my lips, I let it go. Cross my heart, making vows I know will be betrayed. A sad girl's please live only for a breath and then they fade. My dearest wish is that you'll know these tender thoughts that only seem to grow. They are as snow melting away, yet seeking your warmth, if only for a day. The blue moonlight cuts across our sight, as pure and clear as a ringing bell, reaching for us in the night. As the wind calms my thoughts, I hold strong on this terrace. I feel at peace, carried away by the wind's song. Open the door and walk away. Never give in to the call of yesterday. Memories that made those days sublime. These ruined halls and tombs, stolen time. Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish hearts in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays. Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish hearts in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays.
Ready? Three, two, one, go! Donkey Kong wins!
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here and cherish hearts in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays. Faint lights pass through colored glass in this beloved place. Silver shines, the world dines, a smile on each face. As joy surrounds, gunpowder bounds, and I can feel them breaking free. For just this moment lost in time, I am finding me. Yet still I hide.
Welcome, everybody.
Find this
We're in playoffs. Welcome to Post University versus Juniata, playoffs round 1 of ECAC Smash. I'm Frisco as always, and I'm really glad to see everybody here. Really glad to be getting into it. But everything's starting to get real now. Playoffs. If any teams that lose during playoffs, it's done for them. So Post needs to make sure they're on top of their game tonight. It's do or die right now. And so, how many players are in this top round? Let me double check that. So right now there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 teams in playoffs right now. Single elimination bracket. And of course, again, tonight is Post University versus Juniata.
falls on the path, I chase your shadow.
Let's see how everything goes tonight, but Post has got to be on top of everything. And coming up first for Post tonight is going to be Box. Now, we're going through stage bans right now. And here are our stage bans. I know it says ECAC Fall 2024, but this works for this as well. And going into this next round, the opposing team gets first ban, so they banned Battlefield. And now Box is banning Small Battlefield and Smashville, which leaves Town and City and Pokemon Stadium 2. So the opposing team can pick one of those two. I'm kind of hoping we just get a clean start on Pokemon Stadium 2. That's probably going to be the best stage for Sonic, who Box really values as a character. We're waiting to see what the other team picks. Of course, we're not going to know what the other team is going to be entering this round with, necessarily. But I think it's a safe bet that Sonic will do well on a stage such as Pokemon Stadium 2, which is the largest stage in the game. And they can traverse. They're the fastest characters, so they can traverse those large distances the most effectively. How's it going, Box Mom? Hope everything's going well with you. Oh, we're going to Town and City, which isn't a bad choice either, to be honest. Town and City's a relatively big stage. Though in this game, a lot of players use Town and City as essentially Final Destination, and Final Destination is not the pick, just because it becomes a flatter stage half the time. And going into this round, Box is actually going to be going up against Terry. Terry as a character within the fighting game character archetype, where they have auto turnarounds. They don't need to worry about turning around to face their opponent nearly as much. And Terry is very mobile. Not the fastest on the ground ever, but is just generally mobile. Has good stats all around. But whether that can keep up with Sonic's speed, we're going to find out real quick. And that's some quick footsies, doing some little bit of fade and fade backs with homing attack. Ooh, trying to read the roll in with that F smash, but that's not going to come out in the way that Box wants right now. 36% on Terry. Box is the lead on stocks. These homing attacks to really get these mix-ups going are actually going really well for Box right now. Dash attack. Jumping and disadvantage. Now, this Terry does like to jump out of disadvantage. Box can really take advantage of that if they can recognize when that occurs. Really good homing attack right there. But Go Meter is online, and Terry's Go Meter is going to be a big problem at certain percents. But Go Meter's off now with that stock gone. Go Meter is active on Terry from percent 100 and up, and that gives Terry additional moves that are stronger than normal moves that characters don't normally have access to. So getting that out of there right now is primo. Right now, Box is living quite steadily at 122. Gonna have a little bit of rage on to get a little bit of percent and a little extra knockback. Already 60% on Terry. Right now, this Terry player doesn't have a whole lot of answers for Box's movement, except for that raw F smash right there. Gonna take the stock. But still, 67% on Terry right now. That's quite a bit for Box to work with. Oh, and that's our first jab power dunk of the match right there. Right now, Box has so much movement going that this Terry doesn't really know where to go with it right now. And that was safe on shield, that homing attack. Oh, get up attack is going to get punished with that dash attack right there. Dash attack again. Ooh, the mix-ups right there are doing a lot of work. How do you clank with Power Gazer? Here's the problem now. Go Meter is online again. Box needs to get this stock gone before one of these moves comes out. Okay, very shifty movement. No shield poke there. That's very unfortunate. Box needs to be very careful and snag the stock when those are the... That was so close. Oh no! Power Dunk is going to sneak out to get the stock lead for Juniata right now. Box needs to get rid of this stock now. And there we go! Oh, up smash wasn't enough? Oh no. Oh no, the Power Dunk is going to spike right into the stage. 98% on Box. I'm going to go for the low hit. Back throw. Not going to be quite enough to kill at this percent. Terry doesn't really have strong kill throws in general. And the dash attack is going to be enough to pop Box off the top. Putting Post down 2 stocks. Down to 10 right now. Versus Juniata's 11. Rather, 9 stocks down to Juniata's 11. Very unfortunate for that second half. Box had so much good movement going on in the first half of that match, and Terry wasn't really aware of what to fully do. about that. Where I think things started to go downhill a little bit was the second stock, where Box was doing very well keeping that percentage lead going. But there's a certain point where Box wasn't really aware of how to get rid of the stock. And Terry being a big character, he's a heavier character in the game. It makes it a little harder to actually knock him off stage and get him into the blast zone. And so, yeah, it's like there were two different Terrys. But it really, I will say, I think with a character like Terry, Terry doesn't have great recovery. Whenever he's off stage, he has to kind of work to get back. He can get back, like he has good distance, but he has semi-predictable routes in which he likes to go because he has to approach ledge a certain way with his up B. He can power dunk, but he can't grab ledge with power dunk, so he sinks below, so it makes it a bit limiting in how he can recover. If he recovers high, he has to recover high with power dunk, crack shoot, one of those two, and in neither of those moves he can grab ledge. So he either needs to recover high with them and hit the stage, or recover low with his up B. And that's where a character like Sonic can really take advantage of that. I would like to see Box go off stage a bit more against characters like Terry and use Fair to really hit him. Because one thing Sonic can do is literally run off stage and hit Fair. And that is a great kill option on a lot of characters. And Sonic has some of the best recoveries in the game. Just because Sonic has an amazing air dodge to ledge, that up B is amazing, and he can use that up B whenever he wants. So that's the situation I would like to see Box get into a bit more of this. But now, we're going to be getting into the slugfest with Terry versus Incineroar with Astro on Incineroar, and we are on Smashville. Now, normally, Smashville, I would say, is a massively strong stage for Incineroar, but both of these characters are going to work this stage in a very similar fashion. They want to be, both of these characters want to be up close and personal in the other's face, and this is going to work super well for Terry as well. So Astros needs to be on top of his game. That was like 50-something% on just that one side B with Revenge. That was insane. Go meters offline. Online, rather. And there we can see Power Dunk doesn't go high enough to be able to recover like that. And either way, he wasn't going to be able to grab ledge. So Terry has to commit to certain moves low, and that stock is going to get deleted right there by Astro. Quick 44% though. Ooh, that was a very well spaced down tilt. Really nice and safe on shield. Not able to punish the power dunk on shield. And the Fair is going to take it. Making a nice, clean lead. Well, actually, a lack of lead now. Making it nice and tied between Juniata and Post. 9-9 stocks. That Fair we just saw off stage, I want Box to start doing that. That Fair, because that was Incineroar Fair, but if Sonic started doing Fair, it would be even better. I want to see Box do stuff like that. Contest Terry trying to get back to the ledge with Fair. Because it takes Terry can recover. It's not that he has an awful recovery, but he has to commit to very specific routes at certain points, depending on how far you throw him. And if you're aware of how those are, you can mess up Terry pretty decently. So, and Astro is just aware of it. When Terry is positioned that little bit above ledge, it's either he has to fall and sink below ledge, or he needs to commit and go and recover high. Any other move that he has cannot grab ledge. If he tries to power dunk before ledge, he'll go right past it and die into the blast zone. If he tries to do crack shoot a little too early, he'll fall down and fall into the blast zone. He has to recover. When he recovers low, Terry needs to use that up B. So, if you just throw out a move and contest, it makes his choices a lot harder. And now we're going into the bands, which, again, I always talk about how these... Oh, my God. Are we playing on Smashville for this? No, we're playing on Battlefield. This is a very interesting matchup. I always say this matchup is super interesting for Incineroar, just because normally K-Rool likes going to Smashville as well, but we're going to Battlefield. And this is actually a very interesting choice because that top platform is going to do wonders for... oh my god. That was a quick 46%. That top platform will do a lot more for K-Rool than it will for Incineroar, just because of the nature of K-Rool's up air. K-Rool's up air is a super strong kill move. And if Astro is on top of that top platform for long, you might see him dead. But already 100% on K-Rool. This might be the problem though, is recovery. K-Rool is one of the heaviest characters in the game, so getting the stock still might be a little bit of a problem. Back air is not going to be quite enough to kill K-Rool at this percent. I don't even think one more of those yet would be able to get the kill off. He still needs a bit more percent. But with revenge, it might be enough. He really wants a side B right now. And he got the side B! Oh, he mistimed it though. Not able to get the revenge going. Up tilt. Revenge is still online. No, revenge is gone now. That was too much damage. Now, here's the problem. You do not want to be above K-Rool. K-Rool's up air, where he pokes his crown, is going to be super strong. Nair to cover ledge right now. Oh, no. This might be bad. Up-B, up-B. Oh, and he back aired to contest that up-B. Look, a little unfortunate for Incineroar, but still, this is still looking okay. 129 on K-Rool. This stock could get taken pretty relatively soon, hopefully. Forward throw. I don't think it's going to be enough to kill. Nope, not quite enough. Oh, you have to be very careful of that neutral B. This will kill. With a revenge, that's going to kill. Not yet? Granted, K-Rool is a big body. It does take a little bit more, but that stock is finally gone. But still, there's 56% on Incineroar right now. This is looking a little tough for Astro. Astro needs to put a little bit of work into this. That back air is going to send him right back off the stage. That Nair is a little too close on shield. It's not going to be safe. Good roll. I like the roll. Good up air strings. Back up, back up, back up. Good, 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 good. Very good revenge. It's not going to be enough to kill. Does a lot of damage, but it's still not quite enough to kill. This is looking very even, though. In the fair! That was a true combo! Such a strong... Oh my god, I love those revenge combos. I always forget they exist. A lot of rage right now, with good ability to get a lot of damage on K-Rool right now. 52%. Side B again, 73. The tides have turned for Astro right now, but Astro needs to hold on to the stock. Astro cannot afford to lose one more stock. Back up, back up, back up. Good. Oh no! Leaning a little too hard into it. That Nair at ledge has done a lot of work so far. Good grab, good grab! That's not gonna be enough to kill. Yeah! Oh my god. I went silent there for a second because I was like, oh my god. I was like, okay, he didn't fair. He was aware that he was gonna get punished for that fair. He's gonna F-tilt, he's gonna F-tilt, he's gonna F-tilt. And then the F-tilt comes out to defend the ledge. Very strong showing from Astro right now, putting Juniata down to 6 and Post down to 8 with a 2-stock lead. And that's big. Astro had like 140% going into that last round of stocks just there. I love seeing those high percents, and then you still win. And then essentially it's like, all that work you did to get that percentage, all gone. None of that percent matters going into the next round. I start fresh at 0. That's why I love crew battles sometimes. Because crew battles there's a little bit more like of a strategy of like, okay, what damage, what punishment can I take in order to actually just get the stock? Sometimes it's worth taking a bit of damage if you think it will get you a little closer to a stock. That's why trades are so big in a game like this sometimes. And this time, Astro is banning FD, Town, and Kalos, the usual bans for Astro right now. And so we are going to Pokemon Stadium 2. which I think is a very smart pick against Incineroar for a wide variety of characters. It's the largest stage, and Incineroar has a tough time sometimes getting across that distance. And I think this is a character that Incineroar is going to have an especially tough time with. And, not Corrin. I'm not looking at the screen. I always forget. Robin. Oh my god. The Fire Emblem there's too many Fire Emblem characters. I can't remember all their names, I'm sorry. But Robin is going to be a zoner type character that has some combo potential off of things like Book, and Sword and whatnot. And some follow-ups off of their side B with the Flame, the Arc Fire, as we can see there. Incineroar is going to have a tough time getting in on a lot of these projectiles. And so once Astro gets in, he needs to stay in. He cannot afford to get out of the burst range. Just because once Astro is outside of it, Incineroar has to do so much work to get back in. There's the back air to cover the ledge a little bit, get them off stage. Forward air. Recovering low. The side B gonna get snuffed out by that get up from ledge. Ooh, spot dodging is gonna get snuffed out by the forward smash. Ooh, that was a really... I'm surprised that grab connected. The fade back was so strong just then. Safe on shield with the rising fair, but that F tilt is going to take the stock. 83% right now on Incineroar. Only a little bit of rage is online right now, so we'll see maybe some take a little bit of advantage of that. Ooh, Nosferatu. Oh, trying to go and get the early kill with the down air. Oh, missing again. That was a regrab, though. When you grab ledge twice, you do not have invincibility, and it becomes a lot harder to actually recover. That was a very risky move. Didn't fully pay off, but still not getting as big of a punish as what could have happened on an Astro just then. Down tilt, down tilt, down tilt. Roll. That's going to be a roll. Oh, get it from ledge. And that did turn into a roll eventually, though. What a good read on the roll. Just understanding that this Robin does like to roll from ledge to get out of a situation. But still, the stock is going to get it taken, though. But hopefully we see this stock taken right now at 116% on Robin. Ooh, had plenty of time to punish that with a shield drop into F tilt. So that's why you can't just F smash on people's shields sometimes. It's very easy to punish those. Ooh, Nosferatu out again to suck up a little bit more mana. Ooh, falling into up smash. Very unfortunate. 61% on Astro. Astro's got to put a little bit of work into this right now to get this last stock. It's very unfortunate that Astro is falling into so many Nosferatus. It gives Robin a little bit more mana to work with some of these spells. Because you can see above Robin's head, there's like a little gauge. That gauges their mana meter. They can use certain moves for only certain amounts. And once that mana is gone, they got to recharge it. But that down tilt, F tilt, not going to be quite enough to kill at this percent. Not going to let Robin land. Oh, no, the book came out. No. I'm pretty sure. So what happens is... All right, this is very hard to explain what happened there. This is very hard to explain, especially if you're not familiar with a character like Robin. Robin carries a book, and you can see the book right here. You can see Robin holding the book right there. Whenever Robin casts a spell, she pulls out a new book. And whenever she runs out of mana on a specific spell, she throws the book. So what happened there was Robin used all of the mana, and the book does like no damage, and you can't control where the book goes necessarily. But Robin used all of the mana on the up B. They threw the book away, which is a very small hit. Astro got hit by the book by accident, got knocked off stage, and accidentally air dodged into the blast zone. It was an incredibly unlucky situation to be in. And it does not happen often, but sometimes the book just comes out, randomly hits somebody, and something like that can happen. And it can really lead to a situation where you're like, That was dumb. but that's how Robin works sometimes. So, with that, Juniata is, I believe, going to go down to 4 stocks, and Post is down to 6. So it's still 2 stock lead for Post. Not the greatest way you want to see Astro lose the stock, but... If I was Astro right now, I'd be a little mad. So right now, Juniata is banning both Animal Crossing stages and Hollow Bastion. So if we look at the stage list, we have Hollow Bastion right next to my head right now. That's gone. Smashville is gone, which is to that way. That stage is gone up there. And all the way on the other side, Town and City is banned. So that leaves Battlefield, Pokemon Stadium 2, Small Battlefield, Kalos, and Final Destination. So we are going to Battlefield. And coming in for Post is going to be Wildfire. Battlefield. How do I feel about Battlefield for Plant against Robin? This is a very weird matchup. You don't see many Robin players anymore. You don't see... especially in competitive scenarios, you don't see a ton of Piranha Plant anymore. So I think Piranha Plant is going to be a little out of a disadvantage here, primarily because Robin is going to have like the zoning capability, able to fire projectiles like Thoron to really get around any sort of setup with Poison Cloud or Patui or anything like that. But you know, we've seen Wildfire get around situations like this. How's it going, Ronan? Very good Terry, by the way. You really turned that match around the second half of it. So now we're going to get into this. 1 stock left on Robin right now, and we're already seeing the coverage of certain projectiles that Plant doesn't really have necessarily an answer to. You can throw Patui out to block some of these moves. Really good shield to get around that down B, though. But we can see the second Robin decides to go in on Plant, that's when Robin is at a disadvantage. If Robin can stay away from Plant, then there is not going to be a whole lot that Wildfire is going to do. But if Robin commits to certain close quarters combat, we're going to see a lot more trades and a lot more punches on Patui. Here we go. Jab in order to cover that option right there. 64% on Robin, 41% on Wildfire. Wildfire is trying to really keep pressure up. And the shield break. Charge that F smash. No! Okay. When you break somebody's shield, you got to make... Wait, another shield break. Do not push them off. F smash. There we go. Okay. So you have to remember in this game. When you break a shield... If you push somebody a little too far and knock them off the ledge, that will get rid of the shield break state. And that's what happened. We saw that Wildfire was a little too eager to get that F-Smash in, ran right over and pushed them right off the ledge, giving them another chance, another opportunity at the stock. It's not, but you know, I guess we take the second shield break, though. So now, and this is, again, I always talk about this. There is a bit of a problem when you play characters like Incineroar or Piranha Plant. And they have a benefit. They have a small benefit when they're going into a round where when they're going into a match, they pick their stage. Anytime after that in a crew battle, they're going to get counterpicked. So, from here on out, Wildfire is not going to be able to pick the stages they want. They can ban whatever stages they don't want to play on, but they are not going to be able to pick a stage that is fully compatible with them. They have to kind of hope that their opponent might not have the best familiarity with the matchup and then pick a stage that is beneficial to them by accident in the matchup, and that does not really work that much of the time. So hopefully we see some like stages, though. So right now we're going to be going to Small Battlefield. The original bands coming from Wildfire were FD, Town, and Pokemon Stadium 2. Trying to get rid of some of the larger, flatter stages. It seems like they really want to have some sort of platform situation going for the most part. Though you can't ban everything, right? In this case, though, we are going to Small Battlefield, which is a very neutral stage in this game. I think will work out for whatever character schema that really happens. And we're going to be going against a Marth, which, again, is another character we do not see a ton of in this game. Typically, people will, if they pick a Swordy, will see Lucina instead of Marth. Marth is just going to be Lucina with stronger tippers.
2, 1, go!
And here we go, with even stocks. Now, I will say, Piranha Plant will be able to do decently well against Swordies in general, just because of the nature of Patui and how sword characters really do want to play that mid-range. But Patui is a very viable option at punishing a lot of these mid-range swings. If you throw out Patui and just let it sit there, they might get hit. But catching the jump from ledge with the up smash, Wildfire is on a roll right now. 69% though. Heading off stage. Going to combo into Patui on the missed tech with the fair. Trying to get that early stock with that fair off stage. Ooh, I actually really liked that early down B. It missed, but it was a good attempt. Nair to pump him off stage. Gonna cut some ledge coverage with Patui. Aiming a little high, though. Trying to read. I think Wildfire's trying to read some jumps, but the jumps aren't really occurring here. $131 on Marth. I think, well, right now, a lot of Patui is doing a lot of work in this matchup right now, and it feels like the Marth doesn't necessarily have the strongest strategy to get in. Is getting punished a lot by some of these stray moves, where the neutral is getting really pushed into disadvantage on Marth's end. But that back air is going to send Wildfire right into the blast zone, taking this stock here. And almost max rage on Marth. And Marth can get some very early cheeky kills with tippers. Even 32% right now will be enough on certain moves killing, especially with like F smash and whatnot. But there's Patui to come out to punish a lot of this aggression. You do not want to be below plant. 94% on Wildfire right now. Going for the high recovery. It was just saying, nah, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going high. Good sequence on shield. Going for the multi-jab again. Back throw. Nope, going for the up throw. Up throw's not going to be able to kill at this percent, but it does put them in a situation where they might have to deal with Patui. Fair off stage. Back air is going to be spicy, leading them right back out into the blast zone. Patui puts them at 111. Can Marth survive this? Ooh, very good DI, getting right into the corner. That counter. And there's Patui, gonna catch the dash back in, putting Juniata down to 0 stocks. And now we are at the top of the next round. Post Eagles at 12, Juniata at 12, and Post up 1-0 versus Juniata. And now I have no idea what the match order is going to be. I only had foresight, and I had the intel to know what the first set of order was going to be for Post. I've got nothing now. I know nothing. I'm in the dark, just like everybody else. I have a feeling I have a feeling Post might do same order. I don't know, though. I don't know if Applesauce is in the building right now. I don't know if Applesauce might be doing the next round. Normally, if that was the case, normally John would be giving me the set order for the second round as well. I do not know, though. So, at the top of the order, as always, we only have access to starters at the top of each round. Battlefield, Town and City, Pokemon Stadium 2, Smashville, and Small Battlefield. So, we're going to be seeing some bans from that starter pick up top. And so now we're... oh, yeah, Post. I guess Post. Post is going to be banning round 1 here, I think. I believe. I don't know. I don't know how the first ban of these matches work anymore. I always thought the winner did first ban, but I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong on how that works. Oh no, it is. So Post has first ban, which is Smashville. So Post is banning Smashville, which is interesting to me. I assume Box is coming in then. Box probably wants to play on a larger stage. That's my assumption, at least. And the other team banned Town and Pokemon Stadium 2. If that's the case, I would say pick Small Battlefield if you're Box. I don't know if it is Box, though. Though, then again, Battlefield might work. Honestly, either of these stages works well. So we're going to be getting Battlefield requesting Living Room variant. No, we're getting Applesauce. Applesauce is coming in first for Post University right now. Applesauce notoriously loves to play on the Living Room variant of Battlefield. So, we're going to be getting Sora in this first round. Which I think Sora is actually a very smart character to start a round with. You don't typically want to end with Sora. Again, I think character weight in crew battles is very important. You tend to want to keep your heavier characters for the end of a lineup. You tend to. There can be some exceptions to this depending on the character. But Sora is one of the lightest characters in the game, can die pretty early. Really needs to rely on some of the floatiness and offstage mobility to live a little longer than some other characters might. But that's the thing. Sora has a lot of, general kill potential in offstage interactions, especially. I think Sora is a strong pick to put at the start of a match, able to maybe get a flow going. And so here we go. I always find it funny whenever Applesauce does this, because then it makes it so that people have to look at the stage list when you click on the on the bottom right of the screen, the question mark, and it tests people to know where the stages are, because sometimes I completely forget where certain stages are because there's so many stages to pick from, and sometimes I just forget. So sometimes people are just like, where's the living room stage? I can't find it. Ooh, we got a hero. So, Hero is a very interesting character. There was talks early on to ban Hero from the game. Not because Hero is overtly overpowered or anything like that. It's literally because Hero has some moves that... There's a randomness to Hero that he can pull up a menu, and he has a list of moves that he can pick from, and the 4 moves are generally random. There's some you can control it to an extent, based off certain factors, but it's a random move that does a random thing, and you have to go through the list relatively quickly. And the primary reason why people wanted to ban Hero from this game early on is stuff like that, where you actually also have the chance to do critical hits with your smash attacks, which deal more damage and more knockback, and depending on if your opponent knows certain languages, it might be hard to read the menu, and that was a lot of reasons why early on people wanted to ban Hero. But we can see that critical hit was enough to take Sora out relatively early, which is very unfortunate. 50% on Sora, 106 on Hero. I like playing Hero. Hero's super fun. That back air is going to have a lot of range. Going for Crackle Slash, but not able to get it out. And Thwack is going to be an auto kill move at certain percents. But below certain percents, it's also going to be a chance. So we see Hatchet Man is also super strong at killing people at really low percents. Snooze is going to come out. Nope, not out yet. F Smash. Nope. 123. They're biding their time. Here's Snooze. Into Crackle Slash. Nope, going into F Smash to get the kill right there. Putting Post down to 9 stocks. And Juniata still at 12. Now, Hero is a very weird character to fight sometimes. And if you're not familiar with the matchup, it can be very, very, very jarring. Hero is a very weird character. Base moveset is like a typical Swordy. Very slow swings, very low mobility. Has a neutral B that can act as a very strong projectile and whatnot. Relatively typical items that you might find on sword-based characters. Actually not very dissimilar from Sora in some ways, with like their generalized set. The interesting part is going to be Menu, because Menu has such wild card capabilities. The way I always see it, when you're starting a match against Hero, you don't really want to box with Hero to a certain extent. You eventually do once they start getting low on mana, because there was a little mana gauge. They can only use Menu so much. But they gain mana back by boxing with you directly. So if they do damage to you with their sword, they gain their mana back and gives them more opportunities to use their Menu. You have to remember, every move that Menu has on it can be counteracted by shield. That's it. Sometimes you just need to stay away and put up a shield. Not that big of a deal. The only exception to that will be Hatchet Man, because Hatchet Man goes right through shields, but you have to be right on top. You have to be right on top of him, of Hero, in order for that to hit you. So sometimes you just keep your distance, bide your time, keep a shield ready, and wait for your opportunity. Sometimes it works best to play as a projectile character against Hero, because you can throw projectiles. It makes it a little tougher for them to be inside of Menu. That's why I play Banjo. Banjo's not considered a really great character in this game, but I actually like playing Banjo against Hero, generally because I have the opportunity to throw projectiles, and it really messes up how they want to set up their menu. Sometimes I just grab a grenade, and if I hold on to the grenade, I have a grenade in my hand. Or if I find an opportunity, I throw a grenade at them, and it stops them from accessing Menu necessarily. When you're Sora, you probably want to approach that matchup a little slower. Keep your distance, be in Menu, live in like the 45-degree angle. So if Hero is this, you live up here a little bit so that you can't get hit by a projectile really quick. And then when they start running low on mana, or you feel like you can get the drop on them against certain attacks, bide your time. There's no need to necessarily force your way in on a character like Hero. So now we're going to end up going to Hollow Bastion, and I have a feeling it's Incineroar. Yep. You are getting Astro. Now, we're on Hollow Bastion, which is a very good sign for Incineroar, but there is some caveats to this. If Hero places Menu, especially in a spot like this, Hero can do Menu and prevent a lot of approaches from Incineroar. So this is a good stage for Astro, but Astro needs to play it very carefully, because being underneath the platform with projectile opportunities can make it very hard to approach a character. Oh, they weren't okay. I'm pretty sure they wanted to get Zoom, and they relied a little too hard on getting Zoom from Menu that they forgot to recover normally. Not forgot, it's the wrong word, but I think they committed too hard to the idea of getting Zoom. Because Zoom essentially just recovers you directly to stage. It's a very strong recovery move. Left tilt, 64%. Yep. Trying to get... See, that was Zoom right there. And at that point, Astro is trying to predict where they're going to be because it's random. It's kind of random where they end up. And so side B again. Nope, missing the approach. Hero's looking a little low on mana right now. Oh, and now at 50% mana. Ooh, down air for the high recovery. Up air, not going to be quite enough to kill at this percent. Ooh, trying to get a cheeky auto kill right there. Not going to get out in time, though. Fair, fair, fair. They can't recover. Yeah, again, they committed to trying to get Zoom off stage, and that was too big of a commitment. If you don't get Zoom, it's very hard to recover. You can't rely on Zoom all the time. You just can't. Ooh, that is going to be a kill, though. Yep. I don't know why you just want to do the F smash, though. I don't know why you would wait on thwack. And here we go. Side B off stage. Tilt. Ooh! Into the sizzle. Trying to get a cheeky kill again right there. Yeah, and you can't... You have to be very careful about what moves you try to go for off stage. They ran out of mana off stage, and you can't... When you're trying to get Zoom every single time, it makes it very difficult for the recovery. And that is going to put Post down to 8 stocks, and Juniata down to 9. And that's can be a problem with Hero. Hero's recovery is kind of strong, to be honest. He has a very strong recovery. But the problem is a lot of Hero's recovery options are tied to his mana pool. And if he has too little mana, he can only commit to certain moves at certain points. And if, he picks a wrong option, like Hatchet Man off stage, which doesn't have any recovery capability, you spent all your mana on a move such as Hatchet Man, you don't have enough mana to pay for Zoom, and you don't have enough mana to get the best out of your up B recovery. You're not going to be able to get back. And even when you're off stage, there's no guarantee you're going to get an amazing recovery like Zoom. There's a higher percentage when you're off stage that Zoom will appear in your menu, but that is not 100%. So sometimes, if you shuffle through your menu and you get unlucky, you might not get Zoom. You just might not. So you can't put all your eggs into that basket. You need to have some sort of plan in case Zoom doesn't come up. And again, the typical bans for Astro of FD, Town, and Kalos. And now we're going to Battlefield. And now they're talking about stage variants. Ooh, and we got the Terry run back right here. Good luck, Ronan. I don't know if you're listening, but good luck.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Astro being 1 stock down right now. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, not able to get the follow-up off of fair and falling at a jab power dunk. Side B gonna catch the landing right there. 57% on Terry. A lot of jumps right now. Jab power dunk again. Tried and true. Dash attack punishing the landing again. Side B catching the landing on the platform. And that is gonna be the stock. Go meter offline again. Stocks are even. But a lot of percent right now on Astro. 106. Nair coverage into up airs. Ooh, Roll in, catching the roll in, but no, not able to punish it in time. That is one thing about this game. A lot of people like to roll in at very specific opportunities. Oh my god! Using the down smash to steal another stock. Oh, with the rage and the revenge, doing so much work. 135. 151. Almost at max rage. Can Astro do anything with that rage? Max rage is online. 45%. That down air. Yep. And that down smash is going to knock Astro right off. This is looking relatively even at this point. Jab power dunk. Side B it again to catch the landing. 91%. The tried and true down tilt into F tilt is going to put so much work, putting Astro on the board again, putting Juniata down to 6 stocks and Post down to 7. Astro is doing so much work tonight. And now I assume the bands are going to be exactly the same of FD, Town, and Kalos. Let's find out. Yep, FD, Town, and Kalos, same bands. If I'm Juniata, I'm thinking of the character pool. There was Robin, and there was Marth. Who would I? Yeah, they're picking PS2 again, which I still think PS2 is the smart choice coming out from Juniata. That bigger stage is going to cause Incineroar to have to do a little bit more work. I think that's smart. I do think Astro is very smart with his bans. I think Astro getting rid of Kalos, Final Destination, and Town is very smart. Because typically the flatter the stage, the more Incineroar is going to struggle getting around. He likes having some platforms as options, and I think getting rid of all of those flat options is very smart. And we're going to be getting a very interesting pick with Lucas. And I think this is a smart choice coming from Juniata. Lucas can really negate characters like Incineroar in certain situations. It just depends on that side B. I'm selling so bad. No, man. You're fine. You're fine. Don't worry. Ooh, snuffing out the Nair with the fair right there. To the jab. Cross up on shield with Nair. We're seeing a lot of this Lucas trying to box Incineroar, and I do not agree with that play style. A lot of it needs to be a bit more measured and back out. Like I would like to see a lot more side B, to be honest. Side B should be doing a lot of work in this matchup. But right now we're seeing 111% on Lucas right now. Not going to be able to live much longer against Incineroar. F tilt not going to be quite enough to kill off side of that on opposite side of stage right now. Down tilt into up tilt. Not quite enough to kill there either. We are okay. Now we're starting to see a lot of percentage build up against Astro right now. Right now, this Lucas is starting to understand what is needed a bit in this matchup. But the up throw not going to be quite enough to kill right there. 175 maximum rage on Lucas. Now if one shifty little up smash would be enough to kill Astro right now. So Astro does need to be careful, especially on max rage Lucas. That can be a very big problem. Down smash is going to connect though, putting another stock down on Juniata. 97% on Astro. Having a lot of patience right now, but that side B is going to throw him right off stage. It's going to be a very tough recovery. Getting right back to stage, controlling middle stage. We can see Astro wants to get very comfortable in middle stage. Ooh, not able to get the grab punish right there. And gonna catch the jump with fair. Knocking Astro out of this round. Putting Post down to 6 stocks. And Juniata down to 5. So a single stock lead for Post. We'll see what Post decides to bring in. Ronan says, I'm a switch and lock in next round. Trust. I'm excited to see it, dude. I want to see what else you bring in. I don't even think the Terry is bad at all, Ronan. I think you did do fine. The only thing I would say is I'll be a lot more careful where you decide to land. The main reason you were having so much trouble against Astro, he was punishing your landing so often. You would be in a position where you would touch base on a platform or swing right next to Astro, and he would back up just enough, and you commit a little too hard on where you land, and then he would either side B or fair you, and that was the big thing. It could happen quite a few times. Sometimes it's just better off to just back away or back to ledge and let the neutral reset. Even if you give a little bit of ground, so it's technically like you're in a little bit of disadvantage, sometimes it's just better to just get away and not either swing or land anywhere near like Incineroar. And Incineroar is kind of slow, so you can afford, especially as Terry, you can afford to like land anywhere else and let the neutral reset. That was the only thing I would say. That was like the big thing. Not to give you advice for the school that I work for. No problem, dude.
As the rain falls on the path, I chase your shadow. I don't feel a single drop or the ground below.
So now we're going to be going to Hollow Bastion. Is we getting Wildfire again? I don't think Wildfire would go to Hollow Bastion. Would he? I don't know who we're representing it. We are. Okay, we are. Why did I think Wildfire doesn't like Hollow Bastion? I'm probably getting it wrong. Wildfire probably loves Hollow Bastion, and I'm just completely forgetting their stage choices.
Go!
And so here we go. When a matchup like this is going to be a little tough for Plant, especially if we see a lot of side B. Side B is just a move that can really mess with how Piranha Plant wants to approach neutral. That was so much percent! Oh, and the Patui's coming out in full swing. Good parry against the Patui. Ooh, that could have been a grab. Okay, so got some combos going. Quick 38. But Patui is going to be a combo breaker in that right. So you have to be very careful how you approach Piranha Plant, and that up smash is going to sneak out a stock right there. Only 41% on Wildfire. Catching the landing with F tilt. Ooh, PK freeze. That was enough to kill! All the way from across the stage. That's nuts. We can see when the projectiles are out, it makes it. Oh, that was too much of a commit. That was too much of a commitment. But we can see when these projectiles start coming out from Lucas, it becomes a lot harder for Wildfire to actually do anything about it. When you start playing on top of Piranha Plant, it becomes a lot harder for you to counteract things like Patui. Gonna get the parry into the grab for the back throw. Poison Cloud gonna deal a little bit of damage on the stage approach. Ooh, good grab. Very smart low recovery, but you're not going to get around that down smash. That down smash has so much coverage. 97% on Lucas right now. Ooh, Patui lingering just long enough to get that hit going. Trying to catch the jump, but going to miss it. Ooh, that was you have to be very careful how you recover. Ooh, going to power right through that PK fire. Ooh, up tilt? What percent was he at where up tilt killed like that? I almost never see that up tilt used. But that's going to put Juniata down to 3 stocks and Post down to 4. Still 1 stock difference going into this right now. And so now, going into this next match of the round, let's see what the bans are. Ooh, me Sword Fighter. I like the pick. We have a me Sword Fighter player too. They're not playing tonight, but I always like watching me Sword Fighter. It's always fun. So Wildfire is coming in with the bans of FD, Town, and Battlefield. And so they are sending in Me Sword 2233. So when we say 2233, those are the move numbers. I forget the exact order. It might be I think the first 2 is the up special. I think it's up special, right special, down special, left special. I could be wrong on how that goes though. I'm not familiar enough with the move order and how that works. But those numbers indicate, because they have 3 options that they can pick for each move. That just means the second move that you can pick for up B, the second move you can pick for the right move. I'm not sure if somebody in the chat knows what the actual numbers, like which number in the digits represent which move, in the sense of like, oh, is the first digit the up special and the second digit the right special, or is the second digit the left special? I always forget how that works. And we're going to Pokemon Stadium 2. I will say, this might be a matchup that especially Wildfire should be very careful of, depending on the moveset. If Gale Strike is online, because I don't know my Meat Sword Fighter numbers, but if Gale Strike is online, that could be a potential problem against Pertuity. Neutral, side, up, down. Neutral side, up, down. Neutral side, up, down. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ronan. I very much appreciate that, actually. And so right now, we see Shuriken is a factor, which is also going to be a little bit of a move that's going to be a little tough for Wildfire to deal with. It's going to very much disrupt any sort of attempt at sending a Patui or any other sort of trap maneuver. That side B, though, can be taken advantage of a little bit. We'll see there's a little high percent right now on Wildfire, though. Wildfire doesn't have a direct answer against a lot of this. And we can see that Wildfire is really trying to play a lot more direct neutral on top of Me Sword Fighter. And it might not necessarily work out. Just because I don't think Wildfire is really trying to like set up Patui in close proximity. It just seems more of like a panic maneuver right now to kind of swing closely. Though that dash attack is going to pop them up. Going right over Cloud, and that back air is going to snuff out the stock, putting the stocks 3-3. Post down to 3 stocks, and Juniata still at 3. So the moveset is Shuriken, Gale, Hero Spin, and Thrust. Huh, okay. Now, personally, I really like Shuriken. I think Shuriken, because I know some people will pick. I don't know my Mii Sword Fighter moves so much. I think Shuriken is. Because what's the other option? Me personally, I really like the idea of Shuriken and having like a general neutral tool that is just very quick and is very, effective at being like a little bit of a poking maneuver. I think Shuriken is very strong for that. And then I know you can get follow-ups with the thrust and whatnot. And especially with Hero Spin being a super strong move. The multi-stab fire one. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that idea of having that multi-stab. I know what you're talking about, Ronan. I just think Shuriken is like the obvious choice in so many ways. That's true though. I thought Gale Strike was the tornado. See, this is my Mii Sword Fighter of knowledge being so lacking. I thought Gale Strike was the tornado. Yeah, and that tornado comes out of the neutral, and if the tornado hits, they can either get an up air or a fair out of it. I thought that was Gale Strike. What's Gale Strike? I gotta look up these moves. I'm so... Gale Strike. Mii Sword Fighter. Yeah, that is Gale Strike. So which one? Blurring Blade. Oh, there. What? Alright, I gotta look this up later. Okay, sorry. So right now, we got Mii Sword Fighter versus... this is gonna be Dissident on Rob. Rob is a big body, so he's gonna be able to fall into a lot of these combos, and we're kind of seeing this right now. Where if Mii Sword Fighter is playing very direct and together, we're going to see a lot of follow-ups. And I think are we seeing, what's that? Not yo-yo. What are we seeing? We're just seeing a lot of pressure right now. And there we go. The back air is going to snuff out the stock right here. Side B going to get punished with that throw into up air. Back air. And Shuriken is just going to be a very annoying poke tool that Rob is not going to have many direct answers for. Ooh, that was a very good cross-up on that. Get the up tilt. Ooh, not able to fall into the yo-yo right there. Even percents right now, but the stock lead is going to be a big deal for Post right now. In that, the stock lead's on Juniata. Right, we might get the reset right now. Jab, jab. Gale Strike again. Back air. There's a throw into up air. Dissident doesn't have an answer right now at 50%. Oh, able to get the throw. Going to go for up smash. There we go. And now Dissident is on the board, but it's looking really tough right now. We need to see some sort of buildup. And they're going to fall right into that side B. Back throw. Gonna catch the jump? No. And there's the hero spin to get the kill. Going for the reset, and Juniata has won that round. So now we get back to the top of the order. Post Eagles at 12 stocks, and Juniata at 12 stocks. It's Gale Stab? That's what that move is called? Hold on. Ultimate. Let me just find me Sword Fighter. Me Sword Fighter. There we go. No, I don't want me. I want me Sword Fighter. Me Sword Fighter Smash Ultimate. There we go. Alright, show me the moves. Show me the moves. Show me the moves. Here we go. Alright, side special. You're right, it's called Gale Stab. I'm thinking of Gale Strike, which is the neutral special. Airborne Assault is the one where they spin. Gale Stab is the one where they fly to the side with the sword. And then Chakram is that projectile that moves forward and back. I always felt like the move set for me Sword Fighter should generally be Shuriken, either Chakram or Gale Stab. I feel like Gale Stab is has a bit more utility, especially in comparison to Shuriken. Hero Spin. I feel like Hero Spin is incredibly strong, like it's proven over time. And I guess the counter, I guess down B you can kind of give or take. Though I can understand if you want to get rid of Shuriken of Light and put Gale Strike in, because the follow-up from Gale Strike can be so crazy sometimes. Gale Strike into like up B or something like that. And so now we are at the top of the order. Again, so we have Battlefield, Town and City, Pokemon Stadium 2, Smashville, and Small Battlefield. And the first band this round is Final Destination, coming from Juniata. Oh yeah, that's right. The band can't be FD, because that's in the counter picks. If that's the case, I assume they're going. If they were banning FD, they're probably going to ban Town and City. That's my assumption. Are we seeing a Town and City ban? You never know, though. We might see a different ban. So now they're banning Battlefield. Went a different direction there. And so now we're waiting on the bans from Post, which is Smashville and Small Battlefield. So that's going to leave Town and City and Pokemon Stadium 2. And so now we are going to Town and City. Let's see who Post is sending in, and let's see who Juniata is sending in. Spoiler, they're sending me in. I wish.
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn.
And now we're getting Box versus a wolf. I will say, Wolf probably has a decent matchup against Sonic, just by the nature of the projectile and whatnot. Though Wolf is going to have more air mobility than ground mobility, able to traverse pretty decently in the air, which is a little funny considering what you would expect. And we're seeing that the projectile really doing some work right now. Down throw to dash attack, 70% on Box. Cross up on shield for the homing attack. Homing attack again. Jab. Ooh, not gonna get punished on that. Oh, that down smash, though, is going to be big. That's a big swing, and that's going to put Sonic right off stage. Back air. %95 on Wolf. Can Box get the stock before the percent gets a little too behind him? That's going to get the pot up on the dash attack. And that homing attack is going to get punished by dash attack. Oh, no. And the homing attack is going to send them right into the blast zone. You cannot afford to use homing attack off stage like that. Throw, not able to get the dash attack out. I think they definitely wanted dash attack. They didn't mean to do that up tilt. Scuffle. Box is going to need to do some work to get this last stock out. Dash attack, get the pop up again. 151. And the up smash will seal out that stock, though. Box needs to use as much of this rage to their advantage as they can. Ooh, just safe enough to get out of the up smash range. No, not able to get the shield poke on up smash. Good cross up on homing attack, 52%, but the back air is going to be so strong, and it's going to snuff out that approach, putting Post down to 9 stocks. And Juniata down to 11. I'm going to make a guess as to who Post is sending in. I'm not going to say out loud, though. Let's see what the bans are first. The bans are FD, Town, and Hollow Bastion. I assume Post is going to be picking Smashville. That is my assumption. We're going to see if that's true. do not know, though, what they are doing.
My blackened heart, scorched by flames of force I can't run from.
Post is deliberating.
I look to
I can tell.
like
They're really thinking about what they want to do right here.
seeking the sun, no matter where it goes. I long to stay where the light dwells, to guard against the cold that I know so well.
Yeah, they're really taking their time right now. They want to know exactly. They're trying to figure out exactly what they want to do.
I don't feel a single drop or the ground below.
We're going to Kalos.
Only and I
Who are you sending in?
and the lie upon my lips.
We're going to Kalos. We never go to Kalos.
Cross my heart.
Who'd you send in? Who are you sending in?
A sad girl's please live only for
Are we sending in Dissident? I think it's good. Oh, do we see Rob?
my dear.
No, Wildfire. Interesting choice. A very interesting choice. We almost never go to Kalos. So this is a very interesting choice coming out from Wildfire right now. We'll see what's on Wildfire's mind with this. I think I know what they want to do. But it's going to be... Oh. We got to restart. Yep. Yep. You weren't supposed to throw that.
Game. Piranha win.
So, at the start of that match, Wolf needs to take the first stock.
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay here in cherished halls, in peaceful days. I fear the edge of dawn, knowing time betrays.
I wonder why we backed out.
Faint lights pass through colored
We're just
glass
waiting
in
on...
this beloved place. Silver shines, the world dines, a smile on each face. As
Oh.
dressing gowns convert to bounds,
Denny's making a message.
breaking free. For just this moment lost in time, I am finally me. Yet still I hide behind
I think we're going to get Cutthroat Denny right now. I think Denny's going to be Mr. Cutthroat.
blackened heart, scorched by flames of force I can't run from. I look
Yeah, we're going to get Cutthroat Denny. I can already see this. Get him, Denny.
in the sun, no matter where it goes.
Yep. So, right now there is a request that Wolf needs to relinquish the stock here for attacking before SDing. And that is technically within the rules, and that is technically within the right of Post to do a request for. Because at the top of the stock, you're supposed to relinquish any stocks that you lost the previous round. If you attack again before doing that, you do lose a stock. You are supposed to within the rules. And John, Denny, is going to enact that rule. So we're going to see Wolf take 2 stocks this next time. No, you... Oh, well, no, well... You know, you're all good. I didn't realize it was you on the Wolf, Ronin. Very good Wolf. I like seeing the Wolf on that first round. It was very nice. A lot of good use of laser.
My dearest wish is that.
And here we go. So now 2 stocks need to be taken. And that puts a 1 stock difference between the 2 teams. So now here we go. Snuffing out that approach though with the Nair. Laser's gonna do so much work right here. Laser is one of the strongest projectiles in this game. I know some people will like fight that sentiment, but no, this laser on Wolf is so good. Such a strong projectile. Ooh, catching the jump though with Patui and using down B to get that last approach. Back air is going to be super strong too though. Gotta cover real low and be very careful. Ooh, down air into up smash. Not going to come out quite enough. Ooh, catching the jump again with Patui. We're going to see that reflector is going to do some work. I can already see it. Forward air, going to catch that. Oh! I could have sworn that was going to be a grab. Opting for the up smash, though, which I don't think up smash was a bad choice. It's just you know, it's a rock, paper, scissors. And Patui going to catch that jump again. Ooh, air dodging down. What are you doing, Wildfire? You're crazy. And that stock's going to get taken. Oh, down smash not going to be quite enough. What? How did Patui get knocked out like that? I didn't know you could crank with Patui like that with an air. Up smash not going to be quite enough to kill off the side there. Oh, but the recovery is going to be low, and that stock is going to be lost from Juniata. Juniata now down to 9 stocks and Post down to 8, closing the difference by a stock. To be honest, I'm actually very surprised we went to Kalos there. I do not think that was a smart stage pick for Wildfire, personally. And the reason being, like, I can see Plant working on Kalos. I can see it, especially with the placement of Patui on certain platforms. I just don't think it was a smart pick against a character like Wolf. A character like Wolf on Kalos is going to be strong. Having that flat stage potential where they can just throw laser against a character like Plant with Patui, that's their primary neutral item. I just, when we saw it at the beginning, Wildfire kind of fell into like 5 separate projectiles right off the bat. You know, it did work out a little bit more in the end when catching a lot of jumps with Patui, but I do think the flat stage did cost Wildfire that stock. And I don't know if that was necessarily the smartest stage pick. But we will see going into this next round. Wildfire still has 2 more stocks to go. The high ceiling stopped my early kills. That's true. That's true, I guess. And Plant, you have more of a, I guess, consistent potential to kill off the top with things like up smash. Like, you have a better up smash than, like, Wolf has a better up smash than Plant. Plant just usually wants to kill with Patui. Like, I know there's up smash and whatnot. Oh yeah, true, up tilt. I always forget about up tilt. And Plant, I guess we saw Plant kill with up tilt earlier, but I don't think that, I mean, Wolf's up tilt is so nice with, give him the boot! Yeah, it is. And now we're going to be getting Wildfire against Hero, which again, I think is a bit of an uphill battle for Wildfire, and we are going to Pokemon Stadium too. I think this will be a very big advantage for Hero being able to set up with menu in very in certain manners. I do think that Wildfire is going to have to play a little bit closer than might be comfortable. Really needs to work Patui into this somehow. Up tilt. I'm going to miss the tech on the platform. Ooh, clanking F smashes right there. The lingering hitbox of Patui going to cancel out that side B. Ooh, Patui still hitting strong. Using down B to snuff out the bounce. And here's the problem, though. When bounce is online, Plant is not going to be able to use any projectiles. Any of them. There could be Patui, Poison Cloud. Has to rely on sheer neutral, which is a big problem. And we can see the percentage building up right here. Poison Cloud. Good F tilt. Catching the jump. You gotta punish. Oh, never mind. You don't have to. Again, opting to try and get zoom at that being that far off stage was not the greatest move, but still the stock is going to get taken with menu. Take your time. No, you cannot use Patui when shield is up, when bounce is up. Ooh. Snooze. They're going to go for snooze. Ooh, down air. Good shield. Oh, and they're out of mana. Magic Burst is costs all the mana that hero has. But building up mana ever so slowly. Oh, and they're moving slow. Oh, the spot dodge. Yeah, there it is. Very smart going for that a second time. You're not going to be able to spot dodge that in time a second time. Now, Hocus Pocus gives a random effect to hero that can be beneficial to them or negative to them, and we got a negative effect where it slows down hero indefinite until the timer is up on Hocus Pocus. Now, sometimes there can be weird benefits to the slowdown on Hocus Pocus. It actually extends a lot of spot dodges and whatnot, how long the invincibility on them lasts. So sometimes you'll see moves, stuff like that, where you'll throw out a move and it completely misses because there's literally more frames of invincibility. But you can only do that so much to get around and do that kind of cheese. So that's going to put Post down to, I believe, 7 stocks. And Juniata down to 6. So Post is in the lead right now. So the bans for Post are going to be FD, Town, and Kalos. FD, Town, and Kalos. And we are going to be going to Pokemon Stadium 2 again. So who is Juniata sending in? It's going to be Lucas. Now again, I would say this might be tough just because of the nature of Lucas on things like side B and neutral B, but we will see. Especially because this is a longer stage, and I think PK Fire rather, will do a lot of work to keep Wildfire at bay. Go. Patui catching the approach right there. Ooh, PK Fire. And we saw that same combo happen in the last time these two fought. Jab, rapid jab, sending off stage. Ooh! That down B doing a ton of work. Ooh, catching the high recovery with down B. Trying to catch the jump. I like it. That's That shield's looking kind of tiny. We might see a shield break again. Sometimes just throwing Patui out is just a super viable option. Especially if your opponent really likes to play on top of you. Ooh, that's going to be a death, though. PK Freeze is going to be super strong. You got to be ready for when that comes out at any point. Putting Post down to 6 stocks. Stocks are even now, everybody. All right. All right, Post got some choices. This is so down to the wire. 6 stocks on each side. I don't know who Post is sending in. I have my suspicions, but I don't want to say anything. I am not sure. I am not sure what Post is thinking right now. The bands from Juniata, FD, Smashville, and Town. Okay. Town, FD, Smashville. Nobody wants to take the risk of going to Final Destination. It's so funny. Nobody feels like going to FD. It's funny. I love it. I'm gonna guess Post picks Hollow Bastion. Actually, no. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, I'm gonna guess Hollow Bastion. Let's see. We're going to Kalos. We never play Kalos. Where is this coming from all of a sudden? Don't get me wrong. I'm happy we're going to Kalos. I love Kalos. It's a great map. But we never pick Kalos. It's so funny that we're getting it so much tonight now. With twice, but... And we're getting Dissident on Rob. Okay. So, might be a little tough, but Rob is a big body. Lucas likes to do a lot of these juggles. And I do think having Gyro on a flat map like this does have some benefit. Gyro works very well when people have to actually jump over it. And we can see a lot of this boxing starting to happen already. I like it when Rob picks things up. Ooh, grabbing a down throw. PK Fire going to send him right back off stage. Ooh, that was a very risky jump right there. You cannot jump into PK Freeze like that. Oh, Rob's a big body. He's going to fall into a lot of these neutral airs and whatnot relatively easy. Yep, and his hands stick up right above that ledge, and that's going to be very tough to get the recovery from against Lucas. Ooh, getting the strong hit on that neutral B. Dash attack with the pop-up, getting the back hit of Roto Arms. Robo Lariat. Ooh, I'm so surprised that PK Freeze did not connect. Ooh, the up throw. Ooh! That side B is going to kill. Very strong side B off stage. Evening the stocks out. And honestly, there's not a whole lot of percent on Dissident right now. This could be Dissident's time to shine. Trying to punish the landing with F-tilt. Not going to come out in time. Oh, not able to get that get attack from ledge out in time. Oh, Nair's not going to be able to do enough work. 83% though. Side B. Ooh, lingering Nair. Ooh, you have to be very careful how you get back onto stage. Those spikes from Lucas are going to be so strong like that. Good shield. Very good job holding shield. Very good job holding shield again. Oh, God. Oh, and PK Freeze is going to snag the kill again. 81% on Lucas. Dissident only down to 1 stock left. Dissident needs to get 1 more stock. Ooh, the roll is going to have just enough invincibility. Ooh, good jab. Side B, gonna get the poke. Ooh, it's good down air attempt. Nair gonna get the coverage on that get up from ledge. Side B again off stage is going. No! They could have returned from that. That was an accidental air dodge. But hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Post goes down to 3 stocks, and Juniata down to 4. So 1 stock difference in Juniata's favor. And so now, I'm pretty sure I know who Post is sending in. But we're going to see. The bands are going to be. And to be honest, I feel like Dissident, even though there was a SD at the end, Dissident did everything they needed to do. Dissident did everything that they needed to do. I think they had a specific mission, and they achieved it. I think they just wanted those 2 stocks. That's all I think Dissident really wanted to do, and I think they achieved it. Anything beyond that would have been gravy. Would have been frosting on that cake. So now we are just waiting for the bans from Juniata. When things need to lock in like this, sometimes I get quiet. Sometimes I get quiet when it's like, oh, I want to know what they're doing right now. And I'm like, just watching intently. And again, remember, these 2 teams are fighting to stay in this league. Now that we're in playoffs, it's single elimination. Everything for the season win is on the line. So Post needs to dig in. Juniata needs to dig in and get some stocks. So the same bands. FD, Smashville, and Town, and we are going to Hollow Bastion. Now, we're sending an Astro. Astro is going to feel so comfortable on Hollow Bastion, it's going to be nuts. But we will see. This is an Incineroar. Incineroar can be easily counterpicked, and Incineroar has a lot of flaws. So I would say Astro needs to play very carefully here. Very carefully. 1 more stock. There we go. Now, Astro does have some advantages in this matchup, where we're on a small stage where he's very close, and Lucas is a very light character. So this stock could get deleted very easily at certain percents. But you have to be very careful because Lucas can box. He has some very annoying lingering moves that can be very difficult for Incineroar to deal with, especially if Incineroar is trying to recover the ledge. So you have to be very careful how you spend some of your stocks and some of your percentage. Though 76% already on Lucas. Ooh, that side B is not going to go. It's going to go right through that spot dodge. Good job staying out of Lucas's burst range. Oh, that dash attack is going to get punished, though. Good neutral get up. And And this is going to be the part that's difficult for Incineroar, is just getting in on this character who has such strong projectile play. And there is going to push them right off stage. Side B, and that's going to be the stock right there. Just enough to kill a character like Lucas. 82% on Astro. And now we're down 3-3 stocks. The last 3 on each side.
Reach for my hand, I'll soar away into the dawn. Oh, I wish I could stay.
Oh my god. I am like a little on edge right now, everybody. It's so close, man. It's so close. Now, Astro does have Astro is going into this at a disadvantage. Yes, it does, Ronan. It really does come down to this. Astro is going into this with a disadvantage. Incineroar as a character can be counterpicked. And I am assuming, without even looking at the bans, that Astro banned FD, Kalos, Town of City. Let's see. And the bans for coming from Post. And Juniata sitting in the Mii Sword Fighter with 2-2-3-3 moveset again. Astro needs to do a lot of work. Especially against Shuriken. Shuriken can really be tough. What are the bans? The bans are Pokemon Stadium 2, Kalos, and FD. I actually agree. I actually agree with those bans. Interestingly enough. Okay. Okay. And so we're going to small battlefield. I like it. I like that. All right. I think this is a very neutral stage for this kind of matchup. Small battlefield. It's not the smallest stage in the map, but it's still something that Astro can work with. So here we go. Now, this is going to be very tough because Astro is going to have to do a lot of micro movements to get around these shurikens and make sure, because we're already seeing a lot of this. Oh, that grab to punish the landing was insane! Oh, catching the jump up there. Back air for the quick turnaround right there. Trying to read the jump. You have to be very careful when you do that. Oh, no. Wait, I didn't even see that revenge come out. Yeah, these shurikens are doing so much poking. It's crazy. 40% difference right now. Astro's got so much work to try and get back. And not able to return with that low angle on the recovery. Yeah, I can see this now that the Mii Sword Fighter is in the lead, they don't need to commit to anything. They can just shuriken and build up percent very slowly. And Astro just needs to work to get in. It's just gonna be so tough for Incineroar to actually get in on this. It's such safe pressure on shield. 125% though. That side B is gonna be a strong recovery maneuver. There. That side B is putting in so much work, and that up air is going to catch the landing. Oh, not a landing, but that, fall from grace. Oh, no. Ooh, trying to get the grab in, but that's going to get snuffed out. Dash attack will get the stock, though. 10% on right now. Can Astro keep the percent low and take some time? Shields are starting to come out. 65%. Okay, up Spin's going to return us both characters back to stage. Oh, Jab's going to get punished with that down throw. Ooh, again, that follow-up from Shuriken with that side B is so strong. Yeah, and there was no recovering from that at that point. Putting Juniata up 2-0 versus Post University. And Post is out of the playoffs. Very unfortunate, but it was down to the wire with only 2 stocks difference there. GG's. Well played. Same to you, Ronan. Same to you. But hey, that was a very fun season. Very fun matchups. Down to the wire. So insane. And, you know, you sad to see it for Post. But, yeah, just like you said, Ronan, until next year. Congratulations to you guys for getting on and, you know, moving on to the next round of playoffs. Wish you guys all the luck in that. So, thank you guys. Little things that I would change about the side of Post. I don't even know if I want to get into that right now. There's like little things that Post can adjust with like matchups like this. But there's probably a little bit of yeah, well, I'll talk about it with them, with John, probably at some point. But no, you guys were great. Thank you guys. Like really amazing job to you guys. That was so awesome. Like really. So, and again, always fun to be commentating over these. It's my pleasure to everybody. And yeah, that was a very fun season. I think CACC is over now too, but I believe we're going to be having more sessions in other video games this week. I'm not sure what those are off the top of my head, but you know, John will inform everybody on the Discord. So yeah, it's been fun. GG's to Ronan, to you guys. Amazing job tonight to Juniata. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been Frisco, and we'll see you guys soon. You have a good one. Oh, bye-bye.